Is Boots Ennis kidding himself? Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and Thurman won't fight him. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, so recently, Jaron Boots Ennis was interviewed. Man, a lot of news coming out about the big homie Boots and his future in the welterweight division. Now, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say when it comes to Boots and his intentions of fighting the best in the welterweight division. Now, I just read an article, and this article was insinuating that Boots Ennis is kidding himself in regards to Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and Thurman. Now, I think they added Thurman in. They might be a Thurman fan, whoever wrote the article. I don't want to mention the person's name because I don't want them stumbling upon my channel and feeling some type of way. But the person who wrote the article was kind of insinuating that Boots wants to fight Keith Thurman, even though I read an article the other day by someone who had interviewed Boots recently, who said that Boots really had no intention of fighting Keith Thurman. The name that he actually mentioned was Udanius Ugaz. So I would take Thurman off of that list. I wouldn't even add Thurman into that list. Once again, I think whoever wrote the article, they may be a Thurman fan, so they added Thurman's name in there instead of Ugaz. Now, when it comes to Spence Crawford and Ugaz, not Thurman, is it possible that Boots could get a fight with either one of those three guys? And is he overshooting himself because of his level of competition? Now, a lot of people have been critical, including myself, of Terence Crawford and his level of competition. And people feel that Boots is better than Crawford, including myself. But I think Crawford fans feel like, well, how can you guys be elevating Boots over Crawford when his level of competition is worse than Terence Crawford's? Now, is that a true statement? Would I have to say that that is true? In all interests of fairness in boxing and commentary, yeah, I would have to say that's a true statement. Boots' level of competition admittedly has been lower than he wants, lower than expected. But because of the landscape of the welterweight division, there's not a lot that Boots can do about that other than fight the guys who are willing to fight him. There's a difference between Boots and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has the ability to fight whoever he wants to within the division as long as he signs off on the fights. Boots has to get fights with people willing to fight him. Because of his level of talent, a lot of people are unwilling to fight him. So it's not like he can just say, hey, come fight me now because I need to fight. It don't work like that. Number two, Boots, unfortunately for him, is not ultra famous yet. He's famous, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure if he's rich yet or if he's making really good money. I'm pretty sure he's up around the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 mark when it comes to his purses. I would hope so, and I would definitely hope that they're paying Boots pretty good. Even though I think that's one of the reasons he recently did his deal with Showtime, is that the lower level competition was having him in situations to where he wasn't getting paid a lot for his fights. So I would agree that there's a similarity between Crawford and there's a catch-22 when it comes to their competition levels. Some people might say you're being hypocritical if you say Boots is better because of his knockouts, but Terence Crawford isn't. Once again, these are two similar but totally different situations because Terence Crawford is a champion and his name is much bigger than Boots. He can command any fight he wants, where Boots, he just has to roll with the punches, man, and get it how he lives right now. And I think that that's going to be the problem for Boots. His talent level is too high, and the seeded champions at the moment, Spence and Crawford, Spence to a lesser extent, but Spence as well, but to a lesser extent than Crawford, these guys are extremely unwilling to challenge themselves unless it's beneficial. I think Spence is not scared of Boots, but I think financially it could be a mistake for him because it could be a losable fight. Crawford, I think, might be a little scared of Boots because of the situation for Crawford. It has nothing to do with talent levels as far as Crawford not being talented, but it has to do with the fact that Crawford only has that one belt to hold on to. Crawford's not as popular as Errol Spence. Crawford isn't making as much money as Errol Spence. So the impact of a loss to Boots on Crawford would be greater than the impact of a loss to Boots on Errol Spence's accord, I think. I feel that Spence could actually lose to Boots and move up to 154 and still have a great ending to his career. Where Crawford, I think, because of the Evansian situation, the Bob Arum situation, his competition level since he's been at 147, and the fact that he did what he did during the Errol Spence negotiation process, I think fans have kind of had enough of his shenanigans, and if he was to lose to Boots, they would chew him up. You know, they would chew him up and spit him out, possibly to the point that he just goes into retirement instead of dealing with all the backlash. You know, he's dealing with a lot of backlash now from the Evansian fight, and he's already backtracking on a bunch of stuff that he said about, you know, being a boss and all this stuff. But since the Evansian fight flopped as far as pay-per-view numbers go, you're seeing Terence Crawford say things like, hey, circle the block when you're ready, I'm ready. You're hearing him kind of like give in to the machine. Now, Terence Crawford could have gave in to the machine a long time ago and just went in there and let his talent speak for itself. But instead, he decided to turn all of this into a circus. And I think Boots could end up being a ringmaster if those guys are willing to challenge themselves. Now, Terence Crawford, once again, more than Errol Spence. Errol Spence, I do believe, has challenged himself at 147. And a lot of people say, well, that's been his only division. What else can he do but challenge himself? But I definitely think he's taking on the better competition at 147. So, once again, this is to a lesser extent to Errol Spence. I think if it's financially feasible and the schedules line up, you're going to see Boots and Errol get it on, especially if Terence Crawford doesn't want to conform to their demands as far as PBC and Errol go. So I think 2023, it's got a lot of surprises in store. And I think Boots at the end of 2023 is going to be the biggest name in the welterweight division, one way or another. At the end of the day, I think if he could even score Udanius Ugai's fight, if he's able to knock Ugai's out, I think that would be a big accomplishment for Boots, because it would be something not even Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao could do. So you would have to place Boots' name, you know, upon the best punchers in the welterweight division of today, because once again, that was something that Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, or Terence Crawford couldn't prove. Errol Spence beat him, broke his orbital bones, but he didn't knock him out. Manny Pacquiao lost to him, unfortunately, as a Pacquiao fan. And Crawford lost to him in the amateurs. So Ugai's holds, you know, some pretty good cards when it comes to him in a boxing ring. So I do think that Ugai's would be a great victory, especially if Boots could score a knockout. Thurman, who cares, man? Bum time! Doesn't matter anymore. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. It's your boy. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. And we are live.
From the streets to the stage, trying to get paid. They hear your boys with some heat and they all fat. They see your boy on the streets and they all fat. Monster Squad on the beat, yeah, they all fat. I might chill with a freak, yeah, I'm no gangster. But I know players that'll run in your crib like Cosmo Kramer. But it ain't a sitcom, a nigga spit bombs. I hope you're coming for war, I'm coming with Nam. Viacom, even the realest niggas sang along. Even the baddest bitches bring them home with me. And here's a heads up, you can go and get the doctor. straight shot, I hit your papa in his knickerbockers. That nigga Sauce said it's rough out there. Lil' Dam's getting live for a puff out there. And this nigga still playing the tough role, just so they can get their face placed on their brush clothes. Is it really worth it? Niggas really nervous. I'm on top of my game, and I'm feeling perfect with an attitude like fuck your favorite MC unless it is me, Louis Keys, nigga.